Welcome back, Rimworldians. This is Chapter 21 in Harriet's story. Her goal today will be to advance her research and, naturally, survive. A little time is set aside to fix the mismatched walls because style is obviously imperative to survival. During this little endeavor, the Empire of God has yet another shuttle Mayday sent to the colony from combat gone sour. Harriet would need to keep the commander alive at the very least. There is potential to gain another colonist, but if Coyote recruits, the gender balance would already be offset, and Harriet wants to manage relationships for mood boosts within her colony. The skills are impressive, but none are game changers with Harriet's existing roster. She opts instead to go for goodwill. The Janissaries are well equipped for long range, but less so for close quarters. With 3 charge lancers, they may be able to pick off a few, but the weight of the assault will come down heavy on their individual LMG and SMG. At 2 the next morning, the Kai Pack track the Empire's crash site and rush in with superior numbers. Harriet assembles her squad and hurries to reinforce the Imperials. The Kai Pact retreats as their losses mount. Pixie's dynasty advances to rescue the wounded as the standing survivors enter the rescue shuttle. As the rest of the colonists haul the spoils of war, Harriet and Lyons take this opportunity to get some medical training in. Lyons' mood is in a rather precarious state, so he returns the stable, though still wounded survivor to its crew and makes his way home. Around noon, the Empire of God makes a second appearance at Ark's Banning Salon. A royal tribute collector was diverted to reinforce their crashed shuttle. Too late to contribute to the refugees' defense, they stay to rest and offer their protection while they recuperate. Later that night, Lyons develops an infection to his left arm, which Harriet promptly treats with the finest of medicine. Lyons, refusing to be bedridden, steps out of the med bay to continue his work. His agony, unfortunately, breaks him, and in a moment of aggravation kicks open a door, releasing the prisoner. The prisoner seizes the opportunity to escape again and jumps on Lyons. As they scuffle, the rest of the colonists drop their weapons and run to the cell to regain control over the situation. With treatments constantly becoming necessary, Harriet will design some hospital beds for the medbay to provide faster and safer recovery for patients. As the sun rises, the tribute collector vacates the area. Soon after, Harriet is reorganizing everyone's responsibilities and priorities. At 10, the stone-cutting benches are moved closer to the doors of the interior, and the defensive cover is supplemented. In the mid-afternoon, an acolyte of the Empire requests sanctuary, but his regal demands are too imposing, to which Harriet tells him to go f*** himself. As the sun sets, Lyons is checked in on. He is still secluding himself in his room, and his untended infection is concerning. Thankfully, though, Harriet's skilled treatment with quality medications have given Lyons the immunity boost needed for such a worst-case scenario. He does soon shake it off, and returns to the hospital where Harriet once again treats his infection. Slag and Lyons are not on the best terms, so Harriet additionally tells Slag to deliver Lyons some food to break the ice. Speaking of breaking things, the Killiath mech hive has returned. The battle is won with many wounded. The only casualty is Mackey's miscarriage. While the damage is tended to, they discuss the tactics used. The corridor is great for funneling weak enemies, but in a ranged fight, the colonists' weaponry is not a match for advanced firepower. They also regret sending in the beasts into the choke point, because they were jammed in the corridor. Thought is given to creating a kill box in place of the slate wall cover, where the animals can surround any attackers that penetrate the security corridor. As if the situation wasn't already hazardous enough, volcanic ash creeps over the horizon into the atmosphere. This will reduce temperatures and light for plant growth. Harriet resolves herself to harvesting the standing corn to refill the freezer, and converts much of the farmland to rice for faster growing yields. By 15 hours, Lyons has secured his immunity to his infection. Dark, still ruined by the loss of his sons, breaks while feeding the animals. In a berserk rage, he lashes out at Siza. The massive pachyderm and wheels slam Dark to the ground, and by the skin of his teeth, Dark barely survives. Harriet is thus once again called on as the medical professional. The colony defenses are disarmed, the war beasts and one fighting colonist are out of commission, there's blood everywhere, and the food reserves are low. What better time to get married? Slag and Exec get hitched. On the bright side, this will significantly increase their moods, and the ceremony in general will boost morale. It's a pity Dark cannot attend, but further good news is that he has almost made peace with his son's passing. At September 14th, 8 hours, Harriet is installing some armchairs for the comfort of extended research. Meanwhile, Exec, inspired by his good fortune, is feeling mercantile. That afternoon, as Harriet and Lyons proceed with security repairs and rearmaments, Lyons' confidence soars at the realization of the size of that previous mech attack. He boasts that nothing will survive his fury. Early in the morning of the last day of the Quadrum, the first orbital trader locks onto Harriet's beacon. It's a combat supplier. Given the weakness of the machine pistols in that last defense, Wheel purchases 2 SMGs and 2 rifles in exchange for all the weapons in his stockpile. He also buys some extra meds to pad the reserves. Most of the colony's silver is depleted, but there is no price to be placed on security. With much of the colony stabilized, Harriet's people begin a lumber harvest to rearm the traps. On the next chapter, they will finish rearming, create a kill box at the entrance, finish researching hospital beds, or survive another Quadrum on the Rimworld. Only time will tell. Thank you all for your attention. Like, sub, ring the bell, and as always, I hope you are safe, healthy, and fulfilled. I will see you on the next one.